Hi, my name is Eugene. My in-game name is RSG Ares, and I'm playing for Team Resurgence. My team strength will be the ability to make decisions in-game quickly and decisively, to rotate, to outmaneuver the opponent team. Yeah. Basically, we have a scrim schedule every week, so basically after dinner we would just, because some of our teams are from Singapore, some of them are from Malaysia. So every night we will meet on Discord and we'll just scrim whatever scrimmage we can find for the night. Then after the scrims, we would stay usually about an hour or so to discuss about our gameplay. PvP esports means a global stage for me and my team. It's a chance for us to play against the best teams from different regions, because at our local tournaments we are only competing within Malaysia, Singapore and Philippines. So with this opportunity we will be able to play with the best teams from other regions. The team we are looking forward to play against is Alpha X from Thailand, because we heard many good things about them and we would like to see how far we stand or what's the gap between us and them. Yeah. Our expectation will not be very high. It will just be to have fun and try our best and see where it goes.
The team back on a global stage, or on the global stage for the first time. They still have that chance to face the best in the world. For that, they need to turn this series around and make sure that they win it in the end 2-1 against Monster Sheild, because Monster Sheild got that win already, we know that, but it's not over yet. And what we saw from Resurgence and their strong comebacks throughout the whole series so far, is there still high potential, or is Monster Sheild that stable right now with the huge difference to yesterday that Resurgence can't overcome that?
I think the key is Ares, in getting given that first blood, over positioning as Crash. They have to win the early game. Resurgence literally has one of the best early games in this competition, so they have to make sure they win that for them to survive. And Monster Sheild just playing their early game just phenomenally well.
Well, let's see. We're going to go ahead and get into the draft. Monster Sheild going to be on the blue side this time around. The Arum is going to be banned out. And Resurgence, there is the respect coming out. The butterfly will not be seen.
That was quick. That was really
quick. I did not expect that at all.
I have been in so many international competitions, so many regions. I have never, ever seen a butterfly be banned in international play like this before.
Now, to be honest, we never thought Valheim was going to be meta, and then that came along too at some point. So it's a lot of surprises here this year. The Zenyo also going to get banned out there by Monster Sheild. Don't want to deal with that global pressure.
Do you think the Mina is going to get banned out? Because Sherry did play an amazing Mina, and
I think Monster Sheild might just try and first pick it, to be honest. Lindis was just banned out here by Resurgence. If Monster Sheild wants to get tricky, they could have banned out the Violet here.
Chognar.
Yeah,
Violet
would be the man.
Because if Chognar is still open, he's a direct counter to the Mina. So if Monster Sheild wants to do it, they should pick up Mina right now. I mean, Sherry is just phenomenal. Yeah. I mean, if they get Mina right here, I'm going to give the game to them. Right, Sherry?
Oh, do you know what that is? I think that's Butterfly, by the way.
Oh, that's Butterfly. Yeah. So let's see if they're going to be picking up that Mina. However, if they do pick up Mina, Chognar is open.
Whoa.
Okay, they could pick up Mina and Chognar here. We've seen that actually happen in competitive play. You can take the Mina and the Chognar and basically deny the hard counter to Mina and just engage super hard with her.
Resurgence, let's see what they do. The Omen getting picked up here from Monster Sheild. YR on the side lane will be looking pretty good. Though the Omen, oftentimes when it does get picked up, is the main target, similar to Zenyo with the pressure. So usually we'll likely see Resurgence here try and apply a lot of pressure to this Omen so it can't scale right away.
Do you think they're going to pick up the Crash again, though? But Crash is good, but RS's performance on the Crash was very questionable.
Yeah, and Crash is one of his great heroes. Yeah. So Chognar, I do like the Chognar pick because that means Mina is not as viable now, so it's a little risky to pick the Mina into a Chognar. For now, the side laners will be key. I think Arjuin would make sense unless they want to put Daofeng back on jungle and YR will play side lane. So let's see if this Arjuin is going to come out and what side laners they're going to try to pick up here. Because Crash could work as well.
I'm also interested to see what Resurgence might be running in the jungle. I heard some rumors of some picks. We won't say them until we actually see them onto the board, so don't want to ruin the
there
surprise.
We go. There's the Arjuin.
Though, yeah, that would make some sense. You'd like to have some CC and a nice kind of front line for engage.
Yeah, Crash would be good. We can go with Ryoma if they play Ryoma. We haven't seen Mia really play Ryoma. He likes, you know, sometimes likes to play the Scud.
Yeah, I'm interested too because I wanted to see if the Slims would come out here from Monster Shield because this is already looking a lot like a pick composition coming out from the side of Monster Shield. For Resurgence, though, they now know what's going to be in the jungle, and they can decide later on into this draft what they want to pick up.
I was already very confident about the fact that Slim's going to come out in this match. I'm pretty surprised that Monster Shield is going to pick it up, though.
Yeah, with the side laners being so strong, Arduin and the Omen there, you know, they could opt for, Love could opt for, or put LCC on their Ryoma again, because he would still work against like an Arduin, for example. Crash against side lane would work. They would make the Chognar support.
That's a lot of safety for that Killgraph, too. Like, late game, you're not going to be able to touch him because you're going to have that Chognar ultimate come on down. You're going to have the engage from the Crash.
Right, Killgraph counters Omen late game because he has just much more attack speed and life sustain with his kit. So Killgraph is a good pick into an Omen because he can literally out-trade an Omen once the mid-game items and levels are there.
And we still got to see what the marksman's going to be from Resurgence, and still not too sure what the pick might come out here. But now from Monster Shield, how do they respond? You got this Killgraph that's going to be threatening. The Teamy would be a nice pickup here because then you get the Resurrection there on down to the Omen.
Remember how Sherry performed exceptionally well on the first day on Teamy against Flipside Tactics. She did very well. And I think this might actually be
a lot of CC and stun there.
Kind of similar to the Mina playstyle. You're kind of leading that charge and going on in, but still safety for the Teamy.
Get Crixie again here. They should pick Crixie because she has that Nature's Wrath knock-up. Would work out really well for him, but they're going for Kali. Kali is a counter to Killgraph, actually, because if he tries to dive into the enemy team, that Ethereal Pulse ultimate, it will literally eat him alive.
Yeah, you just look to Kite on back. And yeah, that was the one we haven't seen for a little bit, actually. The Cricknack of the coast coming out.
Yeah, it's interesting. Because Cricknack was not... Actually, I've never seen Cricknack yesterday, if I'm not mistaken.
We saw it.
He was banned.
He was banned throughout the whole time.
He was banned pretty often.
Yeah.
But... you know, Z's very aggressive Cricknack player. That's one of his best heroes, is that Cricknack and the Violet actually were the two heroes that he just performed exceptionally well in the group stage. So they're going to have to watch for his rotations and be very careful with those ganks. But Monster Shield is the team that is rotating better. They're the ones that are winning these trades in River that's resulting in objective wins. So honestly, Resurgence is the one that needs to prove that they can rotate better.
Time for predictions. Ban is done. We saw some new... for drafting, we saw some new heroes for this round. Last time we had 2 Resurgence and 2 Monster Shield picks for the win. Obviously, this side currently better. You should think about a suture. But give us a prediction for now. Second game.
I think Resurgence will win this one because I really like Cricknack, Liliana, and the Chognar. They have a lot of dive potential.
Yeah, I've been really liking Cricknack throughout the whole tournament series, so I'm going to go with Resurgence as well.
Honestly, I got to stick with Monster Shield. Just by the play they did last game, they felt a lot more coordinated than we saw yesterday. And if they keep that up, I don't really know what Resurgence can really do because Resurgence looked all over the place. The only one that was really performing for me was Zay's in the jungle, so... we'll have to see, but my vote's for Monster Shield.
Zay, save us, please.
I think momentum is really strong on the side of Monster Shield right now. They came off a surprisingly ended game with Elfrex. They showed potential. Everyone was like, they can do it, but this was not their best game. Now we see how they turned everything around and how they made sure that they play stable and don't run into mispositioning all the time. So I think they have a good chance of beating.
You know what's the key? The Monster Shield video went up in the first game. They won. The Resurgence video went up in the second game. So I think I think that's the key.
Honestly, I just think Renee is a man of hope because it's always about potential with you. And if you see the potential in everybody, you can only just be surprised.
I even see potential in you, man. It's all good. It can all happen. It is time for match number 2. Resurgence is trailing by 1 against Monster Shield. Both teams need to win. Let's get it over to a team that never lost, Rip and Rico.
Thanks very much, Renee. I see potential in Renee as well. We are back here for game number 2. It's going to be a good one. I mean, the draft came out a little bit surprising. I wasn't expecting the butterfly ban.
Yeah, same here. So much respect. I was more probably expecting a Mina ban, but I guess the butterfly from Daofeng really, really is a huge threat. But speaking of the draft, I would like to point out probably one point is that the Killgraph, it just means the RSG would have another damage threat on their side that could scale into the late game really well if given enough space. And I think RSG really noticed the fact that, you know, Monster Sheild could be very passive in the early game, and it's a little bit 50-50 with the Slims if they don't land those spears.
Exactly, and the question for me is, can Monster Sheild still focus down on the Zays? I think they did a very good job of that in game 1 and really made Zays ineffective. But here we go, circling in on this Love here, gets hooked in by that Death's Beckon, and that's going to be a good start for them, just to chunk him down, a little pooty poots, keep him away. And you see on the other side now, Daofeng having to retreat. You see Ares, Zays, and LCC coming in to try to get this Might Golem for the early exchange. But up at top, Monster Sheild getting that Might Golem and run away with it. So similar start for both sides to kick things off here for game number 2.
Very, very interesting for Resurgence, because most of the time when you draft a Kilgroth, you either choose where to put your side lane Kilgroth. Do you put it at a bot or AD lane, or do you put it at top? So this 1v1 matchup, Mia and LCC2, will be definitely very interesting. Sometimes people put it at bot so it's safer and he can contribute greatly to AD and join the fights if they're confident enough for that 4-man rotation. But in the meantime, it seems to me that RSG is very comfortable with the Omen and as well as the Kilgroth, because I guess it's a little bit 50-50 once again with this Slims jungle. But gotta respect as well with the additional CC coming from the side of Monster Sheild with that Putty Poots and as well as the Omen. But then again, they do have the Crest and the Crickneck to solve the weak early game of Resurgence.
Yeah, Energy Surge, you see them chunking away at Mount out there, and you see the Flying Spear just missing for YR. And this is very interesting. You know, this is the second time we've seen them do this, I think, but Team MS is actually swapping their players around different positions. This time we have YR back in the jungle instead of in the top lane.
Interesting observation, Rip, but yes, indeed. Most of the time I would really prefer Daofeng in the jungle, but we'll have to see if YR can, you know, bring back the same YR when they face Flipside.
Montan, a little bit of trouble that gets caught out. Air's very low. Sherry having to retreat there. He's got the Pooty Poots up. But now you see them circling back, man, taking a lot of damage from Linky Lilian. But there's a big stun there on Linky, and a big Pooty Poot to follow it up. That first blood from Mia. Nicely done, and Air's now in full retreat. Sherry kind of low, gonna have to back out. Zay's gonna try to get the kill, and does on Sherry. But now Zay's caught out, and oh my goodness, the Flying Spear from YR making such a difference during these fights.
Whoa, massive fight from MS and a great flicker Pooty Poots from Sherry. That was a game changer. 3-man stun and everybody else just fall like dominoes. LCC2 now is on the crash. This is actually pretty interesting because it just means that he's not going to be the killer LCC2. He's more like going to be a utility LCC2.
Weird. And also loving that last fight was just pushing along that top lane instead of helping out the team. So that really helped MS in getting that kill lead essentially at this point. But here we go back. You see RSG very aggressive. You know, they like to invade the jungle even this early in the game. We're at the 3-minute mark. Kind of gain position to go for that Abyssal Dragon in just a second potentially.
So many swapperoos here again. Daofeng back in the Arduin and YR in the jungle. And RSG did a whole new swapperoo as well.
Yeah. And oh man, are they going to see this dragon? They might not get in time, but they're going to try to close on LCC instead. Here's the Metamorphosis. It's going to be very hard to take him out now, and Air's right behind him as well. He's just going to walk on out of there. And man, they got to be careful. They are getting chunked by Linky and Zays. And there you see the Ethereal Pulse coming out from the Collie, just creating some space and maybe zoning out that wave. But here we go, Might Golem's up. Air's keeping some eyes on it, being that human ward. See YR trying to get it though. Flying Spear is going to miss. Air's very good at dodging Flying Spears though. We've seen a lot of him do that before.
Exactamundo, Aris, and as well as, actually Aris is a very good distraction play. But hold that thought, Zays jumping in?
Yeah, he tried to jump in that drone drop, but Sherry, you know, not playing too aggressive right now, keeping it nice and safe. I like what I'm seeing. Sherry, as we mentioned, very different Sherry than yesterday. Not getting caught out.
Yeah, it seems to me it's a very confident Sherry. I mean, we saw the player cams earlier. Everybody was smiling on Monster Shield side, but not so much on RSG. This could be a potential dive, but it's like it's not. And the lands will miss.
I mean, that's how scary a Pooty Poots is. You know, you see that teammate coming at you, and then the Pooty Poots are going to go off. You just start jumping. Maybe you jump back in your seat. You unplug your phone in accident. I don't know. It's potential pause here. Potentially from the Pooty Poots. I'm not really sure. I just like saying Pooty Poots.
Yeah, Pooty Poots is a fun word, and Teamy overall is a fun character. But going over to RSG, it seems to me that they're having trouble capitalizing on Crickneck because, again, take note, if MS is playing super safe, then they're always wary of the early game picks to Crickneck because most of the time, Resurgence is comfy to take enough objectives and try to push forward with the aggressive playstyle that they have is when they manage to get picks from after a while, but it's not happening. But the Abyssal Dragons so far, though, they've been getting a couple of objectives, and the zoning coming from Ares, using the Metamorphosis to just disengage. They're in a comfy spot at the moment, but this is the same thing that happened during game number 1. It was a little bit safe. They were equalizing the gold, but it could turn around for MS side's favor because this could be potential deja vu.
Deja vu setting up here for Monster Sheild. But yeah, they seem so good today. You know, going back to what Opal was saying at the desk just a second ago, it just seems like they're playing so sharp and so well. They're just playing really as a team. And it's very different than the MS we saw yesterday. So I'm really liking what I'm seeing here. That early double kill really helps them as well. You know, going back to Kriknak in the jungle this time, it's just, I feel like when you have that Kriknak and you have to dive into the enemy team, and as you mentioned, MS so passive right now, so defensive, if you're going to have to get a kill by diving in, it's going to be so hard to make it out alive still.
Exactly, and I feel like Monster Sheild really played the draft against Resurgence. It's like, okay, we got an Omen. If there is going to be a heavy diver, either the Kilgroth or the Kriknak, at least we have something to deal with that. I'm going to trap you. There's a couple of stuns here and there. They could chain lock CC and just try to punish you when you go aggressive. And as well as being a bro, it is a good counter to Assassins. You get that burst down, time that being a bro, and it's perfect.
Yeah, the crazy thing is how they've been able so far to combo the Flying Spears with the Pooty Poots, and they're just keeping players locked down, it seems like, for like 5 seconds at a time. Like, dude, are you going to let me go? I'm just trying to play. I'm just trying to play some video games right now.
Exactly, and Monster Sheild is playing this so well, and Sherry, again, so confident. You can see that even though it's not a Mina anymore, the playstyle is still there. Flicker stuns, flicker pull and taunts. It's quite similar. So despite Teamy being half and half, utility-wise, for the squad, it seems to me Sherry is just playing this just full aggression for Monster Sheild, and it's working pretty well. They're off to a great start. Resurgence, for now, have to stop the bleed if they spiral out of control, just in case the same thing happens at game number 1.
Yeah, most definitely. And right now, the way things are going, I really got to say, I'm feeling like Monster Sheild is going to have the edge. But Resurgence, you can't count them out. They're so aggressive. They always keep up the goal differential, even when they're behind. You know, they haven't even lost a tower at this point. So still very early game here. No one's even gotten an Abyssal Dragon yet, right? Am I wrong about that? I can't remember.
There was only one.
One.
Yes.
There was one. There was one. It was for RSG, actually.
Yes.
I remember. Bottling. Exactly.
RSG got that Abyssal Dragon, but Monster Sheild is also a great team that manages to keep up with the gold and trade objectives around the map. And at this point, though, the question is whether or not RSG will be able to transition well into the mid game and as well as the late game, because it seems to me RSG has already assembled their composition. They have good disengage with the Crest and as well as the Chognar to keep the Kilgroth safe, to keep their carry safe. They've got decent amount of stuns, Liliana, and as well as a Metamorphosis, but it looks like we'll proceed back to the game.
Yeah, here we go. Back into it. 4 minutes, 17 seconds. That's where we are very early here. You see the one Abyssal Dragon, 9.1 and 9.3 gold. Everything relatively safe. And you see Sherry there jumping on in, getting that being a bro with Linky, who is popping that ultimate, turn to Fox form. And yeah, Linky's going to be very interesting to watch as this game progresses. I think we can see a lot of damage out of Linky later.
Indeed. For me, I'm honestly very scared for Resurgence, because even though they have the Kilgroth on their side, even they have a strong 4-man, 5-man later on, the Kali, though, late game Kali, is just scary, very, very scary. Even playing from behind, really intense wave clear and really nice poke as well. So I'm really afraid for Resurgence. So if they really want to solve this, they don't have anyone to penetrate the backline aside from actually landing a very good stun. I feel like Zayce could get punished later on to the game if they decide to play that sort of strategy.
And you see now MS pushing up here on the top lane. They had a huge fight at low a second ago, and instead they're going to get that first tower. Monster Sheild looking fantastic here to kick off game number 2.
Good trade there. Look at the wave being proxied by LCC2 on that crash. So
Deep.
Great job.
Yeah, deep proxy there by that crash right in the bottom. But here comes Mia diving on in. And oh my gosh, the Ethereal Pulse coming out. Linky's in big trouble. Gonna fall as well. And Monster Sheild, beautiful pick that time. Looking down at the bottom lane now. RSG were all down here. They couldn't help out. And Love trying to circle back down to that middle and help defend it just a little bit. Fight continuing now. Metamorphosis is coming out. They're going to jump on in on YR. YR in a bit of trouble. He's a little overextended. Sherry being broken and trying to bring him back here. And can he make it out? Does he have a leap of vitality? Can he make it? I think he's going to do it. Beautiful leap of vitality. There's a spear. Aquatic Shield to chase him down, and LCC going to get the kill on YR. Very nice. Ethereal Pulse and Daofang going to close it out. Zay's now, Cricknack, drone drop. He's out of there. Beautiful stuff. Teams going back and forth here. 1 for 2 that time in favor of RSG.
Reason why RSG was aggressive because Monto doesn't have mana anymore to pull up some skills. So with that said, they decide to just retreat and respect the fact that they don't have enough resources to fight back. But at the moment, the question is it worth it? Was it worth it? Were they able to do a good trade, or was that kill just to try and equalize the gold and get a little bit of map control? Because top side is already pushed in favor of Monster Shield. So at the moment, this seems to be like a replica of what we've seen from game number 1, where first tower up top again in advantage. On the side of Resurgence, rather.
Yeah, exactly. So Monster Shield, they're still looking strong out here. You know, those kills, their team fights today have just been so much better than what we saw from them yesterday. So I'm very confused about Monster Shield. I'm like, what is different here? How come one day you look so great, next day, meh, and now you're back to being great again? I mean, this is the right day to be great, though, right? This is finals day here. We're in the lower bracket final. This is going to be best of 3. They've got the lead 1-0. They get this one. If they can close it out, they're going to move on to the grand finals to face Alpha X. So this is the day to play good, for sure.
Exactly, and I'm pretty sure they're so hyped to get revenge, and that's their motivation here for against Resurgence. They really want to get that revenge on Alpha X because they got 0-2'd yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't look pretty.
No.
So
and Alpha X was kind of even playing with them a little bit at the end, right?
Exactly.
Like, at the base, like, you know what? Yeah, we'll just make sure. We'll take our time here.
And the butterfly didn't even work, but looking back at this game, though, Monster Shield, we did mention how Daofang in the jungle seemed to be, you know, the stronger team in terms of dynamics if they put Daofang in the jungle rather than YR in that position. But this time they did that switch back up, which means they could be more confident, or it makes me think, okay, the butterfly is not available. Why not put YR back in the jungle?
Exactly. That seems to be their rationale, right? Like, what heroes are available for us? All right, let's juggle around our people's positions. That seems to be the way they operate, but it's working out for them, so you really can't fault them for it at all.
Yeah, I kind of wonder if Daofang just, you know, if I'm going to play jungle, strictly just butterfly. If I can't play butterfly, YR gets to be jungle this time.
You're right. I mean, I think they're very comfortable in doing that. That definitely seems to be their strategy.
And we'll have to see, because Resurgence, the plan in mind, because they really have taken into consideration the complete phases of the game, right? When they group up, at least we have Kilgroth, consistent damage. We've got really good amount of burst Liliana late game, and as well as the Cricknack, a really good amount of burst as well once he gets to flank. I know they don't have a Ryoma, but as long as they get the whole squad of Monster Shield distracted, I feel like Cricknack, Zace on this Cricknack, could find the right opportunity to burst down either the Slims or the Kali, but I mean, there's an Omen to punish that, and as well as a Teamy. So Monster Shield has really studied the draft and made sure that they have a response to everything that RSG is going to throw at them.
Yeah, and at the same time, though, it kind of goes the other way around, right? Because there's a lot of CC coming from the side of MS, but then there's that Chognar on the other side that can just say, like, forget about it, Chaos Protection. So I think it's going to be very interesting as this late game progresses, because you're mentioning they got to kind of pick off MS, but MS right now is playing so passive, so defensive, that it's really hard to get those single picks. It just hasn't been happening.
Exactly, and if we take a look back at game number 1, it's more of how they are able to punish mistakes. They had that kit back at game number 1, and this time around they do have the same sort of kit. It's not an Arum on the side of Monster Shield, but it is an Omen who has a similar kit to isolate a certain target, and everybody else can just jump into the party and burst someone down. And RSG should be able to try and, you know, look out for that sort of strategy, because their top side is down, which would mean Kilgroth will be on lane duty. He has to manage the wave. Love has to manage the wave every single time up top.
Yeah, it's going to be a very difficult game here. As you can see, you know, the players are still setting up. And if you just look at the players' faces, right, like Resurgence, they look so much more stressed. And you can't blame them for it, right? They put everything's on the line here. They're down 0-1 in the series. And they got to win this game, but they're still not in the lead right now.
Yeah, it's looking a little bit shaky for Resurgence because Monster Sheild, it seems to me that they're unfazed. I mean, even though they lost a couple of skirmishes, they lost one Abyssal Dragon, they're still pretty fine. They were smiling earlier after game number 1. They felt really, really good about it. And they felt comfy with the composition for sure that they just drafted. And for Resurgence, it's we did see the video. It's like they really want to see how much of a gap is between, you know, their region to the other regions.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how this one plays out. And you can see them on their faces. I mean, I mentioned, you know, now Monster Sheild, you know, they're still chilling though. You know, they're relaxed. They realized we've got this issue to deal with, so let's just have fun with it. And, you know, so we saw them doing their, was it an awkward turtle earlier? I'm not sure what that hand thing was.
Were there hand signals during the player cams? Yeah, it was
this is the hand signals, like, during their team fights?
Maybe it's a ritual that they do to you know, not be nervous in the match.
It's working.
Yeah, it is.
I'm curious now. Now I kind of wish I was watching them yesterday to see if they were doing it yesterday.
Any of the hand signals.
It's only while they're winning.
Yeah.
Right. Once you get a loss, you okay, put the hand signals away. It's time to get serious. Grab
That's their, instead of shaking hands or a high five, that's their high five.
That's their high five. And don't touch me.
All right. So if I were to guess how this is going to go in terms of different situations, if RSG managed to get flank kills, then they could still turn things around. Or if they're behind, I'm just a little bit worried because their only source of wave clear would definitely be the Liliana. But we saw game number 1. Liliana didn't work out so well for that late game to try and get back and turn things around during the tower defense phase. And with, what do you call this, with Monster Sheild, they have the Kali late game. That is ridiculous poke, ridiculous wave clear, and ridiculous distance at that. So
right, and she can move while doing that ultimate too.
Exactly. So you are able to reposition yourself, but still contribute to the squad. Unlike, for example, you're a Violet or a marksman, and you get zoned out by a Jinnar, perhaps, as an example. You're not doing anything. It's like a split second of a 4v5.
Exactly. But, you know, we do have a little technical issue we're dealing with, guys, so we're going to take a short break. Don't go anywhere. Game number 2 will continue just after this.
Don't let the lag monster stand in the way of you and your games. Defeat it with Singtel's 1+1 Gbps Fiber Pro Gamer Bundle and enjoy dedicated gaming bandwidth. Razer's new Sela gaming router featuring zero-weight DFS and instant access to WT Fast GPN. Get Singtel's 1+1 Gbps Fiber Pro Gamer Bundle with WT Fast GPN and Razer Sela router at only $69.90 a month for the ultimate home gaming performance.
What defines an Aftershock PC? A passionate team of enthusiasts, building systems for gaming perfection. We take systems built to your exact requirements. Laptops that push the threshold in both power and portability, all carefully hand-assembled. To create sleek and modern solutions. The end result? A PC that perfectly represents you. Award-winning performance PCs, customized for you.
Everyone, stop and take note. Optus gives you better coverage in more places than ever before, so you can do more and more and more on your mobile. Are you with Optus yet? Optus 4G Plus, our best network ever.
Alrighty, back into the game here. Game number 2 between Monster Sheild and Resurgence. You see Monster Sheild with the slight kill lead, but a little bit behind in the gold.
Wow, 2 Abyssal Dragons already in the pockets of Resurgence. Complete control over the late game, but Monster Sheild is the type of team that's so comfy during the early phases of the game, and suddenly, ba-bam, you don't know what hit you.
Yeah, Mia got to be a little bit careful here. A lot of the opponents in the jungle right behind him, and there you can see the team fight. It's going to be 4v4 here if they want to engage. Beautiful dodge there, not going to eat that blinding light.
Oh, Kilgroth up top, though. There's something going on, and Arduin is forced to back away.
Oh, Sherry maybe overextended this time. The spear comes in behind it. Sherry, though, doesn't have to being a bro. Doesn't even need to. Ethereal Pulse doing so much damage to Air, so low here, and actually going to be able to get the kill. Montau picking up the pieces.
Interesting. No form of body block to just tank a couple of shots, as Linky was probably afraid of the spear that could potentially come from YR. I mean, Eris, once again, had to suffer time and time again. He is one of the most picked players from Resurgence.
And at that time, though, it was really odd, right? Because you saw Sherry was the one who went overextended at first, baited everyone in, then the Flying Spear landed, and they kind of counter-initiated, turned things around. So it really worked out for Monster Sheild that time that Sherry was able to survive. But here we go. You see the goal lead now. Still very close, but still Resurgence with a tiny edge there, but losing another tower in the process. And here we go, big engage here at the top lane. Zay's diving on in on Wire with the drone drop, and Dowfang in big trouble as well. Unable to close out Zay's, not going to get it. And look at this, Resurgence taking back the tower. Sherry in there a little bit too late. Came to maybe be a bro, but couldn't get it off.
Exactly. Sherry was far away. Sherry's still around and lingering and probably providing vision and wave clear. But at the moment, we see LCC2 moving towards bottom jungle side to steal that Might Golem, just trying to get a couple of resources away from Monster Sheild. Great poke from Resurgence, but that was a very good tower dive. Still not over. Love is probably reaching up to his spikes already. That's the reason why Resurgence is so comfy with these aggressive plays. And look at that, Omen being switched at bot to keep pressuring the crest and provide more, what do you call this, provide more presence in the Abyssal Dragon lane.
Right, and LCC with that crash, you know, even when this Omen has been pressuring, he's been invading their jungle and taking something as always. So he's done a really good job of repositioning himself here. And you can see instead you've got Dowfang in the top lane, trying to push out that lane. Sherry maybe getting caught out again here. The drone drop to follow it up. Sherry's in big trouble. Wire trying to come out and help, but not going to be able to do it. Linky gets the kill on Sherry.
And there you go, Monster Sheild now retreats and respect the fact that it could be a potential 4v5. 30 seconds still on the clock for the Abyssal Dragon, but I don't think Sherry can rotate in time. They still have a huge amount of damage.
Uh-oh, yeah, Mia in trouble here. Resurgence taking out that bot lane tower. And they've got to be careful. LCC is a little bit low, but Mia having to retreat again. And Mia's really been getting shut down so far this game. And again.
Exactly, an Abyssal Dragon uncontested. This is what Resurgence wants and what Resurgence needs. Their 4-man super solid, and the Kilgrath up top there on Love is having this space. He's getting all the solo Sentinel and then getting all the farm, but look at Aris just trying to provide vision once again and mostly zoning away Monster Shield and keeping up the pace here. Resurgence seems to be...
oh my damage out of nowhere! You gotta be careful. Sheild didn't have time to pop being a bush. Wait, where did you go? You're gone! Can't be a bro with that. And man, the flying spear there, not able to get the stun on that Chognar. So boy, oh boy, Resurgence surging currently. LCC gonna jump out of there with the aquatic shield. You see Mia, man, they're just trying to get anything they can right now. Everything is going Resurgence's way. And they're going to lose another tower. All 3 tier 1s are down. Here comes the Metamorphosis. They're going to dive on in. Wire are going to disappear off the map. Mia following right behind them. Daofang and Sherry in big trouble here. Daofang going to drop. We're going to get a being a bro. I don't even think we do. Energy Surge right behind them. Sherry, they're going to go down as well. Would have been a team up, but Mantau back up here. And here we go. The high ground tower going to immediately drop. Ethereal Pulse comes out. Everyone very low here on Resurgence. They got to be careful. They're going to try to close out the game. Look at the damage coming out of Mantau here. Are we going to get a respawn? 13 seconds ago. Mantau going to get deleted. And that looks like it's going to be game number 2. If they can cycle this aggro right, LCC going to fall. Wow. And look at this. The game is not over yet. Mia's going to come back up. YR in 1 second after that. Daofang right behind. So just when you think the game is over, Monster Shield gets a second chance.
I could feel the excitement from Resurgence there. They really wanted to finish the game already, but take note, there's a lot of poke coming from the Kali, so they had to suffer a lot of damage. Zay's so low, but it doesn't matter. They get the Dark Slayer. They got the Drake in the bank, and they could just provide a lot of pressure on towards the other lanes. And look at that, the core has already gotten chip damage, and that was a wake-up call.
It was.
From Monster Shield.
And look at Mia here with the split push. They're getting another tower. So MS answering back here despite almost losing the game just a second ago. Eris here going to try to close in. You see the rest of Resurgence closing in down this bottom. They're in full pursuit of Mia here. They got to watch out though because Sherry's right above there. There's the Pooty Boots. Not going to didn't even get it off. Beautiful gank. Nice bait there from Linky and Zaze. And Mia now going to basically escape, but they do lose their teammate in the process.
Party brush for days for RSG, and it seems to me Monster Shield is not reacting properly towards these surprise attacks. All of these ambushes from RSG is working so well. Look at Aris zoning the members of Monster Shield, but look at that. RSG very confident. They know they're in the lead, and they know they can instantly burst someone down.
Oh yeah, and that Drake has been summoned in the bot lane. They're poking away. You see the Kilgrath in the top lane coming on down and may not help that push down that bottom. YR taking so much damage. These blind lights are hurting like crazy. And oh man, here we go. Another push to try to end the game. YR back up. He gets his son LCC, and LCC gets caught out just a little bit again. Love going in with that Kilgrath. They got to be careful here. They're a little bit overextended. Mia's going in very deep, very low though. Mantau deep, and oh my god, that should be the game. Game number 2 in favor of Resurgence, answering back and tying up the series 1 apiece.
What an incredible BO3 we have, Rip. Look at that. RSG takes game number 2. We're going to game number 3 later on. I'm so excited for RSG. The way that they played it so confidently, the moment that they knew that they could burst someone down immediately. The party brush has started. When they see an opening, they don't hesitate at all.
What do you think was the big moment there? I mean, was it Zaze not being shut down? Like, what was the turning point of that game for you?
I really think it's the build-up of the control of their objectives during the early phases. They got 2 Abyssal Dragons during the early phases of the game, and they gave space for the Kilgrath there for Love. Look at that heart.
Oh yeah, MS. I mean, look,
MS heart.
They just lost that game. He's like, look, I'm having a good time.
Yeah,
you think that phase
really
is
good.
me? That was just one pick fan phase, bro. Give me game 3. That's what they're ready for it.
Yeah. We're still not out of the game. We're still going to game 3. We're totally fine, and I'm just very amazed with RSG's performance.
Yeah, that was a fantastic turnaround, living up to their team name, resurging back into the series here, all tied up 1 game apiece. Impressive stuff.
Indeed. I'm just so excited for this BO3, Rip.
Alrighty, let's go ahead and send it on back down to Renee and the analyst desk, see what they thought about this game number 2.
1-1 in the series, which turns this desk to 1-1 as well in terms of predictions. Resurgence with the comeback, opening up the series once again, keeping their dreams alive of going for that 100,000 US dollar prize pool, and it seems like they managed to shut down exactly the right players after seeing what happened in game 1.
Yeah, it felt like Monster Sheild, they had the momentum early, and then, you know, you have that little bit of a pause there, and, you know, that can sometimes just kind of get into players' minds, you know. The action calms down, but never felt like they really recovered after they started slipping behind, and then from there was some misplays that we were talking about, in particular Sherry, can be aggressive on the teamy, but they can't be making plays like this, especially later on where we saw they got caught a couple times. Yeah,
the key was, you know, Monster had a good beginning, you know, getting these kills, but the name of the game was LCC on this crash. Every single time his Metamorphosis has literally secured them so many fights, and on top of that, Sherry played too aggressive, out position, and got killed over 3 times being in the wrong place at the wrong time. But every time you see in these fights, watch LCC's Crush ultimates. Those Metamorphoses were just on point. This is a beautiful 4-man rotation here. They get the kill in YR, they get the kill in Daofeng, and this completely turns the advantage over to Resurgence here.
And also Killgraph went online about an 8-minute mark, just went ham with that Killgraph.
Yeah, look at that.
Look at that. Another initiations. I feel like Resurgence is very flexible. A lot of players can actually play different heroes as well. That's why when I saw LCC on that crash, I feel like it's gonna be really good for that team.
Yeah, and also for me, YR, on the Slims this time around, there was a couple of instances where there were fights about to break out, and instead opted to try and farm the jungle, try and play kind of like Zaze did on the Lindis, and that was a little bit concerning, and Resurgence getting almost a little too aggressive even underneath the core. He kind of traded at least one.
Yeah, that was fine. They could have ended the game there probably, but watch this engage here. Again, LCC, watch how the Crash ultimate, how he's going to save it and use it at the right time. And then the engage from RSG was just too much damage, and the focus, look at that. They get locked down. Daofeng's going to fall as well. The Bina Bro is just not enough, and then they end the game.
Yeah, Zay's also on that Cricknack. You can see there, that's going to be a 13 KDA. And also, look at that damage taken. Really good positioning, because didn't get blown up a bunch.
It's also thanks to Aris and LCC as well. They make space for Zaze, they make space for Linky as well to do all damage with all the abilities that they have. Very well played this time around, but I also, Sherry, she had a really good start early in the game, but she kind of fell off in the middle.
Overconfident, I feel. The positioning just didn't make any sense. Teamy, although you want to